Hello folks, hope you're all doing well. First of all tonight, an apology, I'm filming you on my phone again. I did bring the GoPro, but I forgot to put the memory card back in it. So when I turned it on, it wouldn't work. So you might get a little bit of wind noise across the microphone. I apologise about that. Nothing I can do about it at the moment, so you're just going to have to get me filmed here and as I am. But at least I'm getting some footage, which is better than no footage. And as you can see by it shining off the side of my head there, the sun is absolutely blazing. It's a gorgeous night up here, and I've already been up here about half an hour or so. We've got everything watered up, but jobs on the list to do. I've got some stuff that I need to get planted out. It's been waiting to get planted out for at least a week now. It's absolutely desperate, so we'll go and do that in a few minutes down there. First of all, there's a couple of things I just want to show you on the way whilst we go down there. So what I'll do is I'll spin you around, we'll have a walk down there, look at a couple of things, and then we'll get some crops planted out. Back with you in just a jiffy. So the first thing I want to show you, you might remember from the last one, we had these growing here, and they were growing in about the butternut squashes. They were labelled wrong, and I can confirm they're definitely tromboncino courgettes, and most definitely not a butternut squash like that one in there. If you can see it hiding, hold on, let's see if I can find it. There it is. There you go. Right, and everything's looking quite, like what I'm saying, everything looks quite nice. As I come down here to this little weedy part, this is some lettuces that have gone to seed. I've let them go to seed. They'll have lovely flowers on it. The bees will love it. This is the comfrey over here as well. This is first year comfrey, so I've not cut any of it back. The bees are absolutely loving it. There's loads of bees on it. So hopefully they'll come along and they'll come to these flowers and the lettuce as well. But over here in this area that's busy waiting to be sort of revamped over the winter, let me show you these. Well, we've got the raspberries. Look at these raspberries. They're looking absolutely beautiful. Some of them are massive. That one there, hide behind the leaf, absolutely giant. So they are looking absolutely fab. I'll be very surprised if they make it home and at some point over the next half an hour or so that I don't eat them, but we'll see whether that happens or not. Next up on the way past, just in passing, some of these purple French beans. They're looking absolutely great as well. The green ones didn't climb very well. They were all sort of growing down here, and I've had at least 2 or 3 pickings off them. And these green beans I've not really, or French beans I should call them. I guess the purple ones were a lot slower in growing than the green ones, but I've pretty much abused them. They were in the polytunnel for ages, waiting to go out, and I eventually put them out, and they've absolutely taken off, and they've had no TLC. They've just been left to their own devices to grow up this sort of plastic mesh, and they're going absolutely great guns. And I'll be picking some of them, I think, to take them home tonight. Right, let's move on down here, and it wouldn't be a video without a trip to the polytunnel. Let's go and have a quick look in here. And the tomatoes are starting to ripen, like loads of them. We've had the odd one so far, but look at these bad boys over here. A whole bunch of the big tomatoes over there. I think, I'm trying to remember what variety they were. San Marzano, possibly, is that what they're called? I think that's what those ones were, but they're starting to ripen up. Same up here. All of these ones, look at these, they're all starting to go that sort of deep orange red kind of colour, which is brilliant to see loads of them ripen up now, so that's great to see. Speaking of things ripening, the sweet peppers are starting to change colour. Look at that one back there, going orange. These ones here, you can see they're just starting to turn, which is great, so I'm not stuck with green peppers, because I was a bit worried about things ripening. And the chilies, if I can find it, let's have a look. There we go. We'll see that one there starting to ripen. So this is a variety of chili that goes white in colour when it ripens. And again, I was worried because they were late in starting these, and I didn't think we'd have enough time for them to ripen. But that's the first one ripening. This one's on the way as well, so hopefully we'll get a decent crop off there. Some of the other varieties are just looking a bit, I don't know, a bit small at the moment. I've trimmed loads of the tops back. You see in previous videos, I've trimmed the tops back on these to stop them growing taller. And I've taken off a lot of, some of them have still got the flowers on there, but I'll probably give them another trim. Any that have got flowers on, like that haven't developed into chilies yet, they're gonna come off, because I want the plant putting all its energy into these chilies that are already established here and hopefully get them ripened. But we'll see how they go over the next wee while. Oh look, I've just spotted that one back there. Look, that one looks good, doesn't it? I just need them to grow a little bit bigger and change colour like the white ones we saw down there. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. Things are growing, things are ripening. Oh, whatever you do, don't look at this part of the plot. Right, let's move on. So, you might remember from the, not last video, but the one before, I mentioned about this area here where we've got some of the raised beds and the pallet collars and things. I'm going to concentrate the autumn and winter crops in this area, and that gives me a bit of free rein on sort of this area here where these beds are going to get converted to no dig. So there'll be nothing in them over winter. I'm going to get them converted. Down that end, you know, there's still loads of stuff growing down the far end there and round the corner and whatnot, but it needs a bit of TLC, the rest of this part. So this bit here is going to be the main growing area over the winter and autumn. And speaking of which, 1st of September today, or it'll probably be the 2nd by the time I've edited the video and got things going. I've got a couple of trays of plants here ready to go out. So I'll get you propped up somewhere and we'll get these crops into this bed, and I'll talk you through what I'm doing and what I'm putting out as we're going along. Back with you in just a jiffy. So hopefully you can see me okay over here. I've got my phone propped up on top of 2 plant pots rather precariously with a little stand thing. So hopefully you can see me and all of this. I'm not convinced you can, but I'll find out at the end whether it's worked or not. But on the upside, because I've now got you standing up on something and not the old handheld gimbal thing, you've got the wireless microphone on, so hopefully the sound will be a lot better. Anyway, let's get this cover off. We've got some lettuce here, some green Oakland I think it is. I put that in the other day. They're cheap ones that I bought from the garden centre, but again, don't tell anybody that I bought them from the garden centre already started, because, well, the reason I got them is because these, they're just not quite as far on as they are. So I thought, right, let's get some of them. When I saw them, I thought, let's get some, let's pop them in. They've got a little bit of a head start on these, so not everything's all ready at the same time, and we end up with that big glut of stuff. But I think I'd said, as mentioned before, about this area being used during the autumn, so we've got a few different things to come here. I'm not going to put all the lettuces in the same bed, just in case anything gets them, anything fancies them. You know, we use the nematodes around here to keep on top of the slugs, but I've got just 1 or 2 little slug pellets around them, just because I don't like using them. But when they're brand new out, they're really, really prone to being attacked by slugs and snails or things. So just 1 or 2 dotted about just to protect them, just to get them going. But I think in this bed next to it, we've got some beetroot here. This one is the Kyogia again. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. And what else have I got in this one? There is some mustard spinach as well. So we'll probably get some of the mustard spinach in here and some of the beetroot. And we'll see what else there is. I've got another tray here. It's got 1 or 2 kohlrabis in it. Some of my kohlrabis got fried in the sunshine, I'm afraid, in the greenhouse. We've got some snowball turnips, I believe, and some more different types of beetroot. This is the cylindria one. So we'll see. We'll spread things out. I don't want everything, because we're not growing as much as we do during the summer. There's going to be loads of space. You see, there's loads of space between those lettuces, so it should get nice and big, which is what we're going to do with all this sort of stuff as well. So I'm trying to decide the best way to do it. So I might just make a bit of a drill across here. Actually, might be the easiest. We'll put a row of beetroot in here first of all. Let's just get that all the way to the end there. Just make that just a little touch deeper, just so I can get that in. Cover myself in soil, and as always with everything, a little bit of blood, fish and bone from there was a video that I showed the other day. It's just how I sort of prepared this bed ready for the next sort of crops going in, and you'll see that everything got stripped out. It just had beetroot in it beforehand, so all the beetroot got stripped out. Well, all the old beetroot anyway. We've got some new beetroot going in here, and we gave it a little tickle over, as Steve would say, over on green side up with the cultivator, Now, because this is a no-dig bed, I don't want to be getting in there and sort of ruffling up all the soil and whatnot. So we just gave the surface a little tickle. It just breaks up the surface, and any sort of loose little weeds and things that are on the top, it just sort of lifts them. And just as I'm talking there, I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up putting too many beetroots in this space after I just said I wasn't going to squash them in. So some of these are multi-sown. I think pretty much all of this variety, the Kyogia one, is multi-sown, and certainly the Kyogia ones we grew over the summer were absolutely fantastic. They grew really well, and they've got that. What I really like about the Kyogia is just how they look once they've grown, once you pull them up, and they've got that sort of white and red or pinky sort of stripy pattern in the middle. And that looks absolutely fab. So we do have some more there, but like I say, I want to do a bit of mix and matching. So we'll put some of the cylindria ones in there. I'm just going to be doing pretty much exactly the same technique. There's a stone, we don't want that, we'll get rid of that. In here, right, nice big drill there, shuffle that over there, out the way. Right, bit of the old bloodfish and bone. I think I was saying before, I lost my track of thought for some reason when I was prepping this bed, and we gave it a sort of tickle with a cultivator, and it got a good water in, and I had some of the chicken manure pellets put on it as well, and that's some of the 6x one there, so it's sort of the 6 times strength chicken manure one. So we've got a good sort of 2 little plant potfuls all over here. Then it got watered in because the pellets are dry obviously, and it just sort of breaks them down. So with it being cultivated, the soil, having the chicken manure pellets on the top and then watering them in, it breaks it down, and we're getting nutrition back into the soil straight away, ready for all these new plants going out. And I've no idea why I've planted these ones differently to the others. So I laid all the others out and then filled in the trench, but for some reason with these ones I'm doing it one at a time. But you know what, it doesn't matter, it doesn't make much of a difference. So what I'm going to do is, rather than bore you with me doing another drill and some more stuff out, I'll get this bed all filled up and we'll get it watered in, and I'll bring you back at the end there and show you how it's looking. And the one thing I must remember to do that I'm terrible at doing, that I found with the tomatoes there when I was trying to remember those ones, the San Marzano ones, and the chilies, I don't know what the chili varieties are called. Until those ones that are turning white, I can figure out what they're called, but until the other ones change colour, I don't know what they are. So I must put labels in against these beetroots so I know which one's which. Right, back with you in a few minutes once I've got all this laid out, and I'll probably do some of this as well, get it all watered up, and we'll show you what it's looking like at the end there. So that's most of those crops planted out. One quick thing to ask you just before I move on and show you is that if you're not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is click the button down below, and if you hit the little notification bell thing, it will tell you when we have a new video out. And if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, leave comments below. Love having a bit of a chat. I don't get the chance to reply to everybody, but I try to reply as many as I possibly can. Anyway, enough of me waffling about subscriptions. Let me spin you around and show you what I've been up to. So first things first, this big sort of raised bed here, you'll have to excuse the messy covers there, the Enviromesh that you can see down here, that'll get pulled over this bed and clipped on. And the cover at the end there, that's lifted up just so I can put some stuff in, so it'll all look nice and tidy right at the end. So we've got at this end, we've got lettuce that we cheated with and got from the garden centre, but it's a few weeks ahead of the other one, and that is green oak leaf, so that should grow nicely over the next month or so. Then we've got a little row of beetroot here and here, 2 different varieties. We've got the Kyogia and Cylindria. Now the thing with the beetroot is I'm not expecting it to grow massive, given that it's the 1st of September now. The days are getting shorter, the nights are getting colder. I'm going to probably go for baby beetroots. So if I can get some of those nice little, little sort of round ones and make a couple of jars full of baby beetroots to be having over the winter, that'll be absolutely magic. Moving on a little bit over here, we've got some of the giant winter spinach. I think this one is, if I look at the, nope, looking at the label, this is mustard spinach in this bed. And finally, the end row here, this is black Spanish radish. So we've got 2 rows of that. Again, most of them are multi-sown apart from the odd one. So we'll see how they get on. They should be fine. Moving swiftly down here, you'll see that I've got some left. That's because, well, before I show you those ones, this bed here at the end here, that's going to have some of the winter alliums in it. So we're leaving that empty, so I haven't put them in there, but I've got a couple of raised beds at home that I'll take them home and put them in there, especially the lettuce. It's brilliant having the lettuce just outside the kitchen door, so if I want some and there's none in the house, I can just run out, grab a few leaves and use them, and that saves having to trail all the way up here to pick a lettuce. I'll get something, I'll bring it back and store it in the fridge, and it goes off because we haven't used it. Having it just outside the back door is absolutely brilliant. So this bed here all planted up. Now, admittedly, I have lost the label of that sort of purpley reddy coloured lettuce at the back there, but I know it's lettuce. It actually looks like a sort of red version of the green oak leaf, so I don't know if you get red oak leaf or not, but it certainly looks like that. Next to that, you've got a row of little gems. I might be pushing my luck with that at this time of the year. If we get a warm September, we'll get some good little gems. If we don't, I might be a little bit snookered. And then this right at the very front here, this is a row of snowball turnips. I've shown you them before. The little white sort of ball turnips that are really, really nice. Good to chop up, put in salads and things like that. And they are fab. And last, but certainly not least, is this bed over here where we, first of all, when we dug into it, we found a bonus shallot that's just there. So that is a little treat. We've got 2 rows of the beetroot that was left over from the bigger bed over there. So that's Cylindria and Chioggia again. And this little row along the front here, this is the giant winter spinach as well. So that's all in there. Hopefully we'll get some good growing on that in the next couple of months before the really cold weather starts to come. I mentioned before about this bed here. Say I've not popped anything in it. We've got a pack of shallots, onions and garlic coming soon. I think they're due for delivery at the end of this month, so I'll do a whole thing about then, about how they're going to be overwintered, depending on how the weather's getting on and stuff like that. Some of these might have been cleared out by then, or they might still be going strong, but I'll need to find space somewhere in the autumn and winter section. I'm just going to stand back here and admire it. Maybe it's from the other angle, because with the way the light is at the moment and with all these nice little young crops in there, I just think that looks absolutely brilliant. Like this sort of setup here with the crops, because they're all nicely spaced out because I've not squashed them in this one here. And then we've got the leeks over there that are looking a bit more mature, and the purple sprouting broccoli, the Brussels sprouts and the courgettes. Speaking of courgettes, I mean, I was meant to pick this the other day. Look at this, look at the state of this, look at the size of it. So it's absolutely massive, it's giant. And you know what, I'm tempted just to leave it growing, just to see how big it gets. It is a courgette. You could probably call it a marrow with the size of it now, but I know there's technical differences between marrows and courgettes. I mean, this golden one here, that's probably about the perfect size to sort of pick them. So that'll be getting picked tonight, along with some of the tomatoes, some of those purple French beans, and maybe there's a couple of the little bits and pieces if I spy it on the way around. Anyway, that is me pretty much done for today. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again on the next one, folks. Bye for now.